We are joined by the lead actor and star of The Black Prince, Mr. Satinder Sartaaj himself. Thank you for joining us here on BritAsia. Obviously, this is your UK premiere for your film that you're starring in, The Black Prince. How are you feeling today?
Feeling amazing. Look at the location we are sitting. We can look the the entire Birmingham from here, and it's a lovely place. And Birmingham is my second home. Whenever I came here, performed here in Symphony Hall, right there, and it was beautiful experience. Special special place. And I don't have to sing much. I just have to start the song, and people start singing along. So that's so beautiful. And today is the very special day for me, especially because the film, my debut film, is first Sikh history film made by Hollywood, and I am blessed that I am the part of the Black Prince, and got a chance to portray the most iconic figure of Indian, especially Punjab's history, Maharajah Duleep Singh, the Last King of Punjab. And here we are. We shot the film here, and so I'm back here today.
So Satinder, you're known all over the world as a Sufi poet. Has it always been an ambition of yours to get into acting?
Honestly not. I had so many proposals from 2009. So I never thought that I can act. But when this role came to me, I didn't think twice, honestly. And I said, what else you can expect from your life? This is it. I have to do it. Rather, I have to cancel the tours or shows or whatever. And I did my best, and I gave my 1000%. I went to acting school, and I worked a lot for this film. You will see today.
He's a very charming person, and the fact is he wears his fame very lightly. He doesn't strut around like a big star. And I think for him it has been a rewarding experience. It's the first time that he's acting, and he's very open to suggestions, to help from people, and he particularly has been very helpful to me. So I'm very grateful to him for this.
Satinder, he's great. He's just a laugh. He's got a great sense of humour, which is great when you're on set. Like, we can laugh and joke, and I'm like, so we got no money today. Oh, that's really shit.
No, my experience working with him has been terrific. He seems very natural as an actor. I know he's a singer and a musician, and this is his first venture into acting, but he seems, as far as I can see, doing very well.
Satinder's amazing. I didn't have any knowledge of him before. It's not really part of my cultural experience, and as soon as I found out he was cast, I looked him up, and as you guys all know, he's huge and very well followed. His music's incredible. And now when I drive up, because I've got twin boys, so I kind of commute up here, and I'll be listening to his music. I listen to most of it. I think I've probably heard the last 3 albums at least 5 times through, so I'm loving it. He's amazing. He's an amazing.
Well, I kind of researched him before I met him and stuff like that. And I was like, wow, this guy is a big deal. And then I kind of met him and just thought, you're just so normal. He's so funny. I can't express how funny he is. We'll be even to the point where we'll be doing a really serious scene, and maybe not like in the middle of the scene, because he was definitely professional, but after the scene, all you need around you is Satinder, like, just picked it up all the time. Yeah.
So in this movie you play the lead, which is Duleep Singh. How much about Duleep did you already know, and how difficult was it for you to get into character?
The very first visit to United Kingdom of mine was in 2010, and on 2nd of October, and I went to Tower of London to see the Kohinoor, and then after 2-3 days, one friend of mine brought me to Alvedon Estate, and where the Maharajah Duleep Singh's grave is, settled, and I felt a great divine connection with that soul. I thought, oh, this is very sad story. Like, he lived a lavish life. He was the son of the Sher Punjab, and he was very dear to Queen Victoria. He lived in Buckingham Palace with her for 2 years. So what else you can expect from your life as an Brown? guy, you are living with the legacy, you're living with imperialism. So, but when he died in Paris, he was so alone and very small room of hotel. I've been there in the hotel of Paris, and I researched everything, everywhere where he lived or stayed or whatever. So I have to be in the skin of Maharajah Duleep Singh, and that the character was very, you know, underplaying character. And in Hollywood film industry, you know, everything is very mild. You have to be very genuine and not. It shouldn't be like you are acting. It should like you are living. So that was very hard as a newcomer actor. But Mr. Kaviraj, who is the scriptwriter and the director of the film, he did a great job. He took the best of me, and he taught me a lot. And the co-actors like Shabana Azmi ji, Jason Fleming and Amanda Root, they helped me a lot. Very minute things of acting, like how to, if the camera is very close to your face, if you're blinking your eyes so much, so it means you're nervous. Yeah. So these minute things, they taught me a lot, and it helped, I think. And yesterday it premiered in the BFI, British Film Institute's very prestigious theatre, and we got overwhelmed response from audience, especially from the film fraternities like Ashutosh Gavarikar, the director of Lagan, and Gurinder Chadda, and Mr. Pajji, and so many guests were there. So thank you very much for your love and support.
And so have you got the acting bug now, Satinder? Will you be doing more movies?
You can say, yeah, many, but I have to manage my character, my schedule, because that's my first love is poetry and performance on stage, because filmmaking is so tough. It's consuming your entire life. And performance is just 3 hours. You're on stage, clapping, dancing, and all that. And I enjoy that more. But this is lovely. This is something else. This is gonna stay after you even. So. Okay. so many points of interest that need to be connected and timed across the world. Everything depends on the world. Timed across the world. Timed across the world.
Oh, it was very difficult. It was very difficult because you see, I cannot speak Punjabi at all, and I had to speak all those lines in Punjabi, and so that was really, really tough and very difficult for me. And I have to really thank Satinder Sartaaj because he helped me a lot. And but there was always room for improvement, and that would happen on the sets. And I really, really had to struggle with the language.
एक लफ्ज़ है किन्ना या तुसी कह सकते हो कितना ही किन्ना किन्ना ही पानी बह गया.
Apart from that, I read whatever I could about Rani Jinda. I also spoke to people who had written books on that period, etc. And I've always wanted to be part of a historical film because I didn't want it to be played in the way we are used to watching, particularly in Indian cinema, where there's a certain posture and mannerism that people who are supposed to be historical figures adopt, which can be a bit dodgy. And so then I've tried to make her just as real as possible instead of getting caught in with her grandeur and her glamour, etc.
Painting is going in the grand room and will be looked at for hundreds of years. You wouldn't want people to think of you as a miserable and happy boy. Do get on with it, Franz. Everyone is waiting for my handsome boy.
So, Satinder, how important was it for you to present the story as an English movie opposed to a Punjabi movie?
So important? Obviously, because the world needs to know. They need to be awakened to the reality of who and what the British really are. This is the dialogue of the film. Yeah. So if you think the world needs to know, then it means it should be in the language of the world. Yeah. So we are representative of our culture, but if we have to tell the story to the entire globe, you have to speak in their language. So this is the must language to make the film. So that's why the film made in English, but we dubbed in Punjabi and Hindi also. And yeah, people are gonna love and enjoy. And the old, the Buzurg people of Punjab, they will watch in Punjabi obviously. And the kids who born and brought up here or Canada or America or Australia, New Zealand, Dubai or Europe or whatever, they will probably see the film, watch the film in English. Yeah. Because basically, when you are translating something, you are losing something, but yeah.
How important do you think it is for Indians and Sikhs to watch this movie?
It is. This is the story of Sikhs and India, and because it's a very fascinating story, and the British imperialism was spread and on entire globe, so everywhere where there is the impact of British imperialism, this is the story towards them, because Maharajah Duleep Singh was the first royal who converted into Christianity, and that was a huge deal in 50s and 60s. He crowned at the age of 5, he converted to Christianity at 14, but after 14 years he met his mother, Maharani Jind Kaur, and he just realized what he was and what the legacy he had. And he started thinking about the kingdom and Guru Granth Sahib, his religion, Maharaja Ranjit Singh, everything. Then from submissiveness, fearfulness and shy nature, he is becoming an outspoken and warrior and very authoritative. You can see the character building up to the end. Yeah, and I got an award for my debut acting from London International Film Festival, and I was amazed, and it was like a dream come true. Like if you're doing a debut film in Hollywood and you're getting an award for your acting, so that's amazing.
Being a Canadian, I don't know much about what's being taught in history, in the history books or in history lessons for children. But I do know from my counterparts and my colleagues that are born and raised here that there's no mention of Maharajah Duleep Singh. And so it's that important for people to know what actually happened. And that's what we're showing today. And we're not just showing it in a documentary or a book. This is a feature film from Hollywood with Kavi Raz, who's not here, the director, and I wish he was here. But you know, starring Shabana Azmi, Satinder Sartaaj, Jason Fleming, Amanda.
And just don't forget yourself.
I'm in there somewhere. I happen to play the second lead, and it was, you know, I'm just honored.
It's important for everyone to watch this film, not just British Asians, because if you live in this country, it's part of this country's history, and it's never been documented in any kind of history book. When I was growing up, I never heard it or read about Duleep Singh. I never, apart from what my parents taught me, it never came out in my history lessons. So now hopefully this will warrant the reference and the relevance of his existence in this country. You know, we've got blue plaques, you know, in various places because Maharajah Duleep Singh stayed there, but nobody knows about why he was here as a young boy who became a man without actually knowing who he was.
For me, I sort of take pride in when I see something like a film like this one, Black Prince, or any film that celebrates us. I'd go, yes. And now we have a greater voice because we have educated writers, producers, and also Asians, you know, who are they're willing to sort of put money in a project that they'll go, hang on, I might not get the money back, but it celebrates my culture.
British culture today in 2017 is also Indian culture, is also African American culture, is also Iranian culture. Whoever lives here is part of the new British culture, and we should all remember that. I think India has a very rich history and culture that needs to be shared in the world, and I'm very excited, I'm very honored. It's going to be a pleasure, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think so. I think people are really, I think actually a lot of English people want to see this story because it's not a story that you've heard of. And it's kind of one of, like many of our Asian stories are wiped under the carpet, pushed under the carpet. So this one is like, it's great to see a story that is, you know, true, it's dramatic, and it's based on real life characters. So yeah, so I think there's an interest for, the British love history is at the end of the day. So I think that's a unique, good selling point for the UK market.
Black Prince is a story that is well known in India, but not well known here. It's a story that I think is worth telling, is important to tell. And it's the beautiful story of a young man who was brought up in British society away from his birthplace. And it's about the dilemma and the struggle that puts him to as he becomes a young man and an adult. I think it's something that people need to know about. It's an important film.
He was a Sikh man, and that was his destiny. It was, from no fault of his own, he was taken away from that life that was his destiny by the British Empire, and for a Sikh man to kind of be stripped of that at such a young age is something that people need to really know about.
He is a man full of courage. That is it.
I am here only because of my admirers, and one thing I want to share, like I was the first urban Sikh guy from India who represent India in Cannes Film Festival, France this year, and there was a screening of The Black Prince also, and we got great reviews and a great affection from the western side. And when I just stepped on the red carpet, everybody was just amazed, like, who is this brown guy with turban? And everybody was just clicking the picture. So I was so overwhelmed, honored, and astonished even. And I want to thank you through BritAsia, that thank you very much for being my support and for these blessings and love. And please watch the movie The Black Prince. Is releasing on 21st of July, and let the friends know that, oh yeah, there's a movie about our culture. So that's it.
Brilliant. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you
your
very
time,
much.
Satinder. Thank you.
Thank you.
What troubles you, Duleep? What bears so heavy on your heart?
I wish to ask something about the kingdom of my father.
What you seek is all gone now, my Black Prince.
There's a lion that sleeps in the heart of that boy. I'm afraid of awakening. The rule may be unbearable.
I was taken away from her. I wish to see my mother. I have questions that remain unanswered.
I understand.
Please make this possible.
Your passage into Punjab is no longer possible.
The government of India wants to get rid of me and my family. I will not vanish without a fight.
अपनी तलवार उठा ते अपना राज वापस हासिल कर।
The British are watching our every move. It could be seen as treason.
You do know that by doing this, you risk the loss of all that you have.
I plead mercy with you. Do not abandon this family. तू महाराजा बनन वास्ते पैदा होया, ते महाराजा ही बनिया सी मेरे पुत्र।
You must instill in him the will and courage to take back what is rightfully his.
We have a kingdom, and I, its king.